So, something got brought to my attention recently, and sort of want to explore it. Vulnerability. How vulnerable do you need to be in your relationships and in your friendships? Is there a minimum amount? Is it an obligation? Is it something that just comes naturally? Because for me, having people that I couldn't really trust anymore for various reasons, I've had to kind of manually control my level of openness. So yeah, vulnerability. Is it a given? I think it gets taken for granted a lot. I think people almost expect you to be a certain level of vulnerable when they're engaging in a friendship with you or a relationship. And if you're not, then you're considered a shy person or whatever. Because shy meaning that, hey, you didn't meet my expectation of the level of openness and vulnerability that I'm used to, therefore there's something wrong with you. You're the shy person. That maybe it's their expectations that's letting them down, not the other person. It's almost like, how much do you owe the other person even? Do you owe another person anything? If you see them not performing their best, do you owe them like a talk where you can actually tell them that's how you feel? How much vulnerability do you expect in relationships? I mean, it's a mark of a good friendship, I guess, if you can sort of expect the other person to be super vulnerable with you. Well, not expect, but just have them be vulnerable. But if you expect that, then it becomes like an obligation for the other person. Then it almost becomes a chore to be your friend because I have to do all these things. Not everyone's ready to open up their true selves. This is where I need to differentiate the difference between weakness and vulnerability, because they are two opposite things. They're on other ends of the spectrum. Vulnerability is not a weakness. Vulnerability is a strength. To be able to show all parts of yourself to another person, opening yourself up to rejection or opening yourself up to whatever response you're gonna get, it shows the strength that it came from. That's what it shows. Vulnerability is not a weakness. Vulnerability is the complete opposite of weakness. Once you truly understand what vulnerability is, you don't feel weak being vulnerable at all. But someone can bring you down, and it shows their weakness, that they're not able to accept parts of you for whatever reason. Not everyone's ready to see like your full selves. So in like friendships and relationships, it's important to know how much the other person can take. You can't expect them to accept you the way you accept yourself. That's like a layer of expectation you're putting on them. And they're a free human being. They can do whatever they want. They can have their opinions and likes and dislikes and things like that. Exploring how much of yourself like you need to show in relationships, or like if you see like your friend or something and they're not performing their best, or they're being too hard on yourself, how much do you owe to them to let them know like, hey, you could be doing better and I know you can do better, and and be encouraging for them and things like that. So I think we got our answer about vulnerability in relationships, right? Open up as much as you're willing to get rejected for. And if you get rejected, well, you're already prepared, but at least you decided that you're going to let yourself be that vulnerable with another person. And that's a strength. That's another strength point for you, because it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of courage to open yourself up. It's not just a nothing. It's almost like a gift too, if you're coming from a different perspective. If someone can, give you that gift of courage, they have to do it by rejecting you. Not intentionally, but like it just so happens to be that you can gain that sort of lesson from that experience and make it like work for you. Like even situations that are happening that you think it's happening to me and people are mean to me or something, you can say like, people are helping me to be more courageous, and that's an important gift that a lot of people probably won't give. They might be like, oh, I don't want to hurt that person's feelings, and so I won't say the thing. has taken away that gift. Just different perspectives.